Here we are with Bill Pappas from Bill's Barbershop in Willoughby. Welcome, Bill. Can I just ask you, Bill, what's your Greek background? Where are your parents from? And did you have a really Greek upbringing?
Yeah. My parents are from Rhodos in Greece, both mum and dad, which migrated out here in 1958.
Well, that's early.
Yeah, and 4 siblings, all born here. And yeah, we grew up in a very much a Greek background.
So Greek schools, Greek dancing, Greek hori.
The whole lot.
The whole lot, huh?
The whole lot.
The whole package.
And Greek was the only language spoken at home.
Okay. And, as a teenager, what did you aspire to? Did you always want to be a barber? Did you dream about something else?
Yeah, I did. At the age of 16, I had a professional contract with, back then, a club called Marconi, which I'm sure everyone's aware of. Fortunately or unfortunately, travelling there 5 times a week was a bit difficult.
Because they're at Fairfields?
At Fairfield.
And you were growing up in
Willoughby.
In Willoughby?
Yeah, in Willoughby. It was very hard to be transported from Willoughby to Fairfield 5 times a week because Dad didn't have a car. He had to work 7 days a week to support the family, mum and 4 siblings. So I had to surrender that, and Dad suggested I started a trade, which was becoming a barber.
So, all right, of all the trades, you could have been a mechanic, you could have been a carpenter, you could have been anything. And you chose to be a barber. Why?
I didn't choose to be a barber. Dad suggested I become a barber, and working with my cousin to teach me the trade.
Oh, so your cousin was a barber?
Yeah, my cousin was a barber, yeah.
Oh, wow. So where was he?
He was at Epping.
Oh, at Epping?
Yeah. Yeah, so he taught me the trade. He was a terrific fellow, terrific barber, and a great cousin, of course. And I started the trade. I didn't like it one iota.
At all?
No, I didn't like it one iota because I had focused, and my plans were to become a professional football player. And I had to give up a professional contract. But once I started, slowly but surely, I ended up enjoying the trade, and the rest is history.
And tell me, back then it was like apprenticeships, wasn't it?
Correct, yeah. 4-year apprenticeship, of which 3 was at college, and you had to finish the 4th off at the
Pratt.
Yeah, Pratt, yeah.
And were you always local, Willoughby in the North Shore?
I did my apprenticeship 4 years at Epping. From Epping, I ended up going to Chatswood doing 18 months, working and getting different experiences of how to run it and how to operate a barbershop. And then 6 years in, I had one of the reps tap me on the shoulder and said, "There's a barbershop for sale at Northbridge," which I went, spent 35 years there.
35 years?
In Northbridge, yeah.
In Northbridge? 35 years?
Yeah. In Northbridge. Mind you, that was my own business in 35. I bought the business in 83, and I was 35 years in Northbridge, and then the current 7 years I'm still got my own business. I've transferred to Willoughby.
Wow, Northbridge. And this is not Marrickville. It's not Marrickville or Dulwich or Earlwood. In the 80s, this is Northbridge, and your customers aren't not Greek.
No. Predominantly all my clients, or 95 and 97%, are all Anglo.
Yeah.
And they, for me, I've been very fortunate that I've had clients from 83 and still coming to the shop.
And their kids are probably coming now too.
Well, their kids are coming now with their children.
That's right. So you're doing grandkids.
We're doing grandchildren, yeah.
How does that feel? That's 40 years. I mean, we're talking about 40 years of being a barber.
Correct.
That's
46 collectively.
And that's cross-generational.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But it's been good. It's been a good business for me, you know. I've got no complaints.
And you've seen the changes, you know, you've gone through the mullets in the 80s, you know.
Mind you, the mullets have come back in, but they're slowly fading out.
Right.
The skin fades are
But the thing is, with skin fades, for example, I know from my sons who get their skin fades, how do you learn that? Do you learn that through experience? Do you...
No, I'm pretty fortunate because, Vasili, a lot of the clients come in, the young ones come in, they show me photos. And I go off the photos that they show me, which is quite easy for me. It's easy for me to work off that.
That is
just... And you use your... Yeah, absolutely. You use your imagination. You put it together and, you know, there's... The landscape of barbering, admittedly, has changed, right? You know, we're talking about 0, 00, 000. You know, the 000 is now the skin fades, right? So, and I've got about 6 different clippers that allocate 4 different.
You gone are the days short back and sides. Gone are those days.
Yeah. Well, they call it now the fade.
You know, so
whether they call it a slim fade or they call it skin fade, a half fade.
You know, the other thing about barbering is that the social aspect of it. You know, you really get to know, like, especially with clients who have been with you for, you know, decades. You know them like family.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I've been fortunate, Vasili. You know, there's a lot of good personalities that come into the shop and sat in the chair. You know, we're talking, you know, current professional coaches in AFL, in rugby league, in A-League. We're talking about people that are radio broadcasters, news presenters. I'm quite fortunate. Yeah, very fortunate. It's probably out of the 46 years that I've been working, I'd say where I am now, it's probably the best business I've had.
But can I ask, how important is the recommendation?
Word of mouth is... Well, that's basically your advertising. And add the social media. You know, we're quite fortunate. We've got our business on Google, and I think we've got well over 200 with 5-star rating, which is a huge help. And that's your word of mouth, your advertising.
You know, but you know, with 46 years of experience. You know, you can never take that for granted.
Absolutely no. But you can't beat experience.
Yeah. Tell me, what are the aspects of the job that you love? What are some of the aspects that you love? Is it that every day is different? You know, is it that aspect of it? Is it every client's different?
To answer, probably the best way to answer that is the kind of client that sits in the chair. You know, I've got some from a range from professional people. We're talking about senior QC, we're talking barristers, we're talking surgeons, we're talking heart surgeons, we're talking lawyers, doctors, and their intel on a range of topics.
And are you the type of person that converses with them always?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are clients there that give you a great insight in life, whether it be in health, whether it be in business, whether it be in life, and I find that the most interesting part of my work. And I've met some wonderful people.
All right, so you know the positives. Give me one negative aspect of your job
that I hate. I quite openly say it. When people come in and cough in my face and splutter in my face and sneeze.
Right. I mean that's with anybody really.
Indeed.
That's right. That's even in my job. You know, I would tell you someone comes into my classroom and starts coughing and spluttering all over me. Of course, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Sure. So you know, you're wearing now an APIA, jacket, and you're talking about, this contract with a 16-year-old that you had to surrender. Well, something tells me that you've gone, almost about 360, and you're back at football.
I've been at football since the age of 10 and I'm still playing. So no, I've never changed. I've gone from playing as a player, but I'm still coaching at a high level.
At Arbia.
Correct.
And you were at Olympic.
That is also correct, yeah. 6 years ago.
Okay, so you've always been in it. How do you balance? How do you balance your coaching and your business? Because it is a business. You're not just a barber.
Yeah. No. Look, coaching is when you go be interviewed, you ask them what's the work, what's the job description, and when they tell you the hours and that, if it works for you, then you continue. If the hours don't work, well then you say, well, look, I don't think I can do it because my business doesn't suit.
So you're fortunate that it suits.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And with all this, looking back at 46 years, how do you characterise, your journey as a barber? Do you see it as, early challenges, but you overcome the challenges? How do you see your life as a barber?
There have been a lot of challenges, Vasili, right? There's been a lot of challenges, and the ones is the competition, right? The competition is fierce. Back when I started, you had to be licensed. You had to do an apprenticeship. These days, to open up a business or a shop front, you don't have to be licensed. And now the young ones are opening up everywhere. Unlicensed. You've also got kids at school that are doing haircuts in their backyard, right? And that takes away, that is a competitive aspect of our job. But I go back to, and I'm very fortunate that we have a lot of loyal customers, and that's what's kept our doors open. 1, 2, we're very competitive in the pricing, and we also provide good service. They're the 3 key components.
Where do we go from here? I mean, this is after 46 years. I mean, the big 5-0 is coming up soon. So it's not that far away.
No, that's right. But that's a very. To be honest with you, that is the most popular question I get asked in the chair. When am I retiring? My answer to that is I really don't know. I really don't know. That's a very good question, but it's a very popular one.
So no spoilers, eh?
Well, I'm there because I still enjoy it. I suppose when the day comes that I don't, it could be time to call it a day. When? I don't know.
Bill Pappas of Bill's Barbershop in Willoughby. Thank you very much for your time.
Pleasure.